Rain always falls in Ren's memories. Every drop from the sky reminds him of the last night he saw his mother, the night when the sound of rain drowned out his cries, and the darkness swallowed the only light he ever had. Ren was never special. He was just a fragile child raised in the arms of a single mother. She never had wealth, not even the comfort of a secure home. Yet despite her exhaustion and hidden pain, she always found a way to smile, a smile that for Ren was more precious than anything in the world. But the world despises fragile happiness. That night, the door of their home was struck violently. Heavy footsteps, a brief scream, and then silence. Ren ran into the corridor only to see the faint silhouette of his mother fading in the shadows. He reached out desperately, but by the time his small hand stretched forward, she was gone, like a candle extinguished in the wind. From that night onward, Ren's life became a futile chase. He hunted his mother's shadow everywhere, in the streets, in the crowd, in the silence of the rain. Sometimes he thought he heard her voice calling his name in the distance. Sometimes he swore he saw her figure at the corner of his vision. Yet whenever he tried to approach, everything disappeared, leaving only emptiness. Ren grew up carrying an invisible wound. To the world, he looked like another boy learning to survive. Quiet, expressionless, detached. But inside, his soul was trapped in that rainy night, screaming endlessly for the warmth that was stolen from him. His mother's last words became the chain around his neck. "You must live." Simple words, but to Ren, they were a curse. How could he live when living only meant enduring pain? How could he breathe when every breath reminded him of someone he could never see again? He tried to understand her message. Perhaps she wanted him to grow strong, to rise above the cruelty of fate. But the harder he tried to carry on, the more meaningless it felt. Her words were no longer encouragement. They were shackles binding him to a world he no longer wanted. Ren's heart was torn between love and anger. Love so deep it drowned him, and anger so sharp it cut him from within. He longed for her with every heartbeat, yet he hated her for leaving him alone. The contradictions twisted his mind, slowly blurring the line between sanity and madness. At night he dreamed the same nightmare, running endlessly under heavy rain, calling out to her, only to wake with his hands trembling and his face soaked in tears. Yet through all the darkness, Ren clung to one fragile fragment of her, a ring, the last thing he found on the cold floor that night. He carried it everywhere, gripping it tightly as if the metal could still hold her warmth. It became both his anchor and his torment, a reminder that she was real, and that her absence was eternal. Behind Mother's shadow is not just a story of loss. It is a portrait of a boy bleeding from within, trying to survive with a love too vast for a broken heart to contain. It is a journey where love transforms into wounds, and wounds become the only reason to keep living.